All right, so I wanted to address this notch shape here that is visible in the top view. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll make a new sketch. I'll use this plane as my start. And I'm going to make a circle. So sketch, circle, center circle, and it will snap on the center line there. And it kind of looks like something along those lines, perhaps. I'm going to just scoot this up. Again, the reference image is not 100% as nice as I'd like it to be, but I think it'll work here. I'm going to make a line from there to there, so I have a point, and then from there down. And I'll hit OK. Right click to go to repeat. And then we can come over and clean this up with trim. And I'll hit stop sketch. And there's this little ledge here. And I'm not exactly sure what is going on with that shape, but it may become apparent at some point from some other view. So I'm going to kind of ignore it for the time being. But I know that I want this to go down and basically cut a little bit into this top surface. So I'm going to do a press pull, and we're going to actually go 2 sides. And I'll pull this one up to about there, and this one just is going to kind of cut in a bit. So let me come back and look at the reference one more time. I think that's probably okay. And there's something going on. I think this might be the top of the gun, so this is actually needs to be maybe trimmed a little bit, or perhaps there'll be a useful intersection there. Let's turn the other geometry on. I'm going to do a shift select, right click, and go to show hide. And it looks like I can probably get that effect that I'm looking for by maybe just moving the entire thing down a little bit. Just a tiny bit, like that. And I'm going to actually hit OK there, and then we'll do a press pull here on the bottom. Make sure I grab both sides with shift select. Bring it down. And then I need to make sure that this is actually a tight fit, I think. Let me double check the reference. Right, so there's not going to be a gap there. So to make that happen, well, you can see that's a little bit too low. So maybe we can click these and we'll go back and do an edit sketch. And I'm just going to move these up a little bit closer there. And they may need to be smaller as well. Oh, that's great. Okay. So, but about that angle there, that might be a bit of a challenge. You know, actually, looking over here, there is a gap. So, maybe we can live with that. All right, so what I want to do now, to give the impression that this piece is actually kind of cut here and slid in, is I'm going to do a cut operation using combine. So we're going to work on this one, and we're going to use this as our cutting tool, but we're going to actually keep the tool. We don't want to get rid of it, but we do want to kind of cut it there. So now I get this border, and I can come in and do a little tiny fillet on these inside edges. I'm not going to worry too much about what's going on. Well, maybe we can grab this one. Whoops. Try that one more time. Repeat fillet. I do not mean to be hitting that. Let me hide the rest of the geo here. There we are. So I just kind of want to grab these edges. And we'll go to modify, fillet, and something tiny will be fine, 0.1. So it kind of feels like it's sitting up on top of there. And we can do the same thing over on this piece. Another combine operation between this and this, hit OK. And then the tiniest of fillets, 0.1, just to kind of give the impression that it's a separate piece of metal. And I kind of want to move this up as well. So one of the nice things is if you click on a feature, you can see it kind of get outlined here. And that makes me feel like that's probably the sketch. So I can just come over here and I should be able to go edit sketch. It might be off the screen, but it's in the drop-down menu from a right click. And I can just kind of scoot it up by clicking on the center line. Now I want to make sure that I do a right click and a move so that I can move it vertically. Maybe somewhere in the middle. I think try that. There we are. So now it's nice and centered. Okay. I think that's coming along. Let's take a look at this side now. So I'm going to go to my side left reference. We'll go to Edit Canvas and go to Select Image, and I'm going to grab the side right. And so what we can see is this cut actually does go all the way through here, but this one doesn't. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do a press pull on this face. And for my, I think I could just actually walk it all the way through and it should, it looks like it's getting kind of confused about that. So what I'm going to do instead is scroll back here a ways, see if I can find, there we are. So I'm going to just come over and hit Edit Feature. Again, it may be just slightly off the screen here, but it's just a right click, Edit Feature, and it's one side. I'm going to just set this to, well, it looks like I can't really do a symmetric because it goes two. So I'm going to set it to two sides, and the objects to cut, let's see, cut, I'm trying to find, that's the issue here is the extents. When you do a symmetrical cut, you can't do that to a surface. So I'm actually just going to go to distance here and hit OK. And see if that gives me what I'm looking for. Not quite, it is. Not thrilled about that. So the other option, I'm afraid that might be up here in one of these, probably one of these guys. So we'll go ahead and tackle this as well as some of the other features on the right side of the gun in the next video.